Hello and welcome to the Counselor Complete OMS tutorial on managing the ReviewWave integration. We're going to start here by just reviewing the basic process you would go through in Counselor in order to essentially request the review from the patient. Then we'll look at the patient experience as to how they receive that email and can then also, of course, complete the review. And then we'll jump back into Counselor and look at things from the administrative standpoint as to how you'd set this all up. I should mention that the reviews can also be received as a text message. We're going to be focusing on the email side of this during this tutorial. So what happens now is the patient has a visit and we're going to go ahead and complete that appointment. What happens behind the scenes is then Counselor works with ReviewWave to send a request out to the patient. So obviously in this scenario, because we're looking at email addresses, the patient does need to have an email address on file. But the patient then receives an email asking them that Hearing Resources wants their review of their visit. They can look in that visit and they can choose, obviously on a 5-point scale, 5-star scale, what their experience was. Depending on the response here, ReviewWave will take different actions. So for example, if they say love it, they'll be taken to the screen where they can actually enter their reviews, of course. If they say it's poor, they're taken to a different area, so they would not be leaving a review for you. It's merely a place where you can collect feedback, and that's supplied back to you, of course, so you can follow up with that patient. But let's go ahead and say, of course, we love it. All right, that's going to then open up a quick screen asking a few questions. So how would you refer a friend? And overall, how would you rate your experience? So let's say 5 stars on both, and then continue. It takes you then right away to the review screen where you can add in your Google, Yelp, Facebook, or Glassdoor review. Okay, so depending on what that patient, what their different accounts were, where they have a Google account but not a Yelp, they can decide where they want to leave that review straight away. Okay, and as I mentioned, if the patient had responded perhaps poorly, they would not have been taken to that review screen. Excuse me. So back in the patient's email, once they finish leaving their review, they will receive a thank you email shortly thereafter, thanking them for leaving their feedback. Okay, now back in Counselor, let's jump and look into the administrative side of this. So in order to get this set up, you would go into Administration, then Appointment Types. And then with each appointment type, you have the ability to designate whether or not that appointment type is review worthy. And the reason this is the case is that there may be certain times when, let's say, for example, a new patient visit or a fitting, where you definitely want to get a referral, or you want the patient to leave feedback. But perhaps a follow-up hearing aid check, for example, you may not. And that's something you may decide, of course, on an individual appointment type by appointment type basis. So for example here, if we said that we wanted 4 audios, we wanted to make sure that the review request was sent out to the patient on the completion of the appointment. We'll go ahead and check that at the same time that we set up the rest of the details for our appointment. Once that is in place, as soon as whoever in the practice, the office manager or the provider completes that appointment, the patient then will automatically receive that email I showed you before. So the idea here is that you can set the system up, as I mentioned, on an appointment type by appointment type basis, but then from there the system just takes over and the patient automatically receives the review requests. So we want you obviously to develop a lot of reviews in a short amount of time without really a hands-on approach. It can be all automated through Counselor and ReviewWave. So of course, if you have any questions, let us know about that specifically. Now, one other quick step is the actual integration between Counselor and ReviewWave, that setup process. You'd simply click on Administration and then Clinic List. Then you would choose the clinic that you wish to review. So let's pick this one here. And then Advanced Settings. And there's an area specifically for ReviewWave where you can click on Settings and enter. Now this information, or enter the information, this would be provided directly from ReviewWave. So you would have this given to you. Once you enter that, you click Save, it locks it in, and that unlocks the whole rest of the system so that the reviews go automatically. So please let us know if you have any questions about the process of completing appointments, what the patient will see, setting up the appointment types, or actually putting in the token, the credentials to link Counselor and ReviewWave. We're happy to help any way possible. So please give us a call, live chat us, shoot us an email. Just let us know if we can assist in any way. Thank you so much, And thank you for joining us for the Counselor Complete OMS tutorial on the ReviewWave